Radio engineering, graphics and design learners, welcome to this mechanical assembly. We're going to talk you through a very interesting assembly. We're working on the HSE workbook, and of course if you have that, that's wonderful. If you do not have it, then you are still going to benefit from this lesson. So we're going to take you through the steps required to absolutely smack a mechanical assembly, and we're going to use page 219 is the question, 220 is the answer sheet for this assembly. Rightio, so first of all, let's look at what is given to us on page 219. When you get to mechanical assembly, you are going to have a couple of things. Orthographic views of the different components. You're going to have a parts list, of course your question, and then a 3D exploded view of that component. So let's have a look at what we are drawing here. We are drawing a swivel pulley and a mechanical assembly of that swivel pulley. In Afrikaans is dit 'n swaai katrol wat ons hier teken, en dit is 'n samestelling van 'n swaai katrol. Now immediately looking at this 3D components here, it's almost like a wheel of a trolley cart. If you haven't seen a swivel pulley yourself, then a trolley wheel of a shopping cart would probably be the closest to what we see here. Okay, in this case, if you look at the components, we've got one, a fastening disc. Number 2 here is our thrust bearing. There you can see the details of that thrust bearing. In Afrikaans is it 'n druklaar. Then we have a base plate. We also have, of course, here the number 4, which is our M20 bolt. We've got a washer. Number 6 is our fork, and in between that shaft will go through this fork, washers on both sides, and a bush in the middle that will stabilize this V pulley. Die V-katrol met 'n bus wat binne daai twee virke pas, en die skag van ons as wat daar deur gaan. Okay, if we look at this, there's an important thing to note. They show you the direction of the front view. So you can see here, we're going to see the front of this fork. Okay, so if we go to what is given on top here, and we look at the views that they've gave us, then we know in this fork, this represents the front view. Okay, and so they've given us a front view and a right view. That's what they've given us of this specific fork. You can probably highlight it for yourself or draw a border around it. That's the fork. But what about the fastening disc next to it? Die hegskyf langs aan dit. Let's look at where that is in the 3D. Okay, that's number 1 here. It's this here, one on top. Look at its orientation. If I look from the front, I'm going to see a flat disc. If I look there, which one is the front view? This one. What other view did they give to us? If that's the front view, then this is the, kom mense, die boaansig, the top view. It's third angle orthographic projection. Right, here again, of the V pulley, they've given the front view. You can highlight that for you, and you can double check that in the 3D. And they've given us a right view. So you have to be able to determine that with the bush. The front view of the bush, the right view of the bush. This is just the front view of the bolt. With the base plate again, what do we have here? This is even more interesting. We have a front view. Draw that in nice and yellow, then you know all of this is front views. And they've given us a symmetrical top view. Not a full top view, they've drawn it in symmetry. Okay, so that's an overview of what is given. You're going to, of course, use this information plus definitely the measurements to put this all together. If you look at your fork here, we have a diameter 20 hole, and we also have a shaft with a diameter 20. Okay, and so it's those kind of measurements that will help you with lining it up correctly. The bush here, the width of that bush is 38. Look at the width of this gap, 38. You see? So let the measurements lead you. Let this exploded view here at the bottom lead you how it fits together. And of course, in the end, you need a working machine. Jy het 'n werkende masjien nodig, so jy moet gebruik daai 3D plus die mates om vir jou te sê hoe hierdie saak by mekaar pas. Dan sê hulle vir ons moet teken skaal 1 tot 1, 'n vol snit vooraansig, full sectional front view. They specify the nut details, the bearing details, and what to label, plus a right view without the base plate in place. So die basisplaat daar is uitgelaat in die regteraansig. Okay, dis hierdie gedeelte in die regteraansig, hoef jy dit dan nou nie by te teken nie. Baie belangrik vir jou om dit kennis van te neem. Okay, otherwise you spend a lot of time drawing something that's not required. All in detail must be shown, complete the title book title, projection symbol, insert 5 dimensions on each view. So please, again, my instruction to you is please make sure you complete that entire list for you to have a finished drawing. It's a growth mindset. Okay? You are showing emotional intelligence if you realize that finishing this drawing from start to finish is the best possible preparation for me heading on to finals. Alright, let's zoom out quickly here. I just want to quickly look at the page. They've not given you a starting point, and they're not going to give you a starting point come the exam. I've just done some preparation here. We're going to draw a front view and a right view. Remember, the front view, the widest component here is our base plate. It's got a full width here of diameter 160. So on your ruler, you need to have scale 1 to 1, 160 millimeters, people, available for that front view. All right. Then the right view, if we look at that, we're not going to draw the base plate in that right view. We're going to draw all other components. This wheel here is probably one of the widest. If you look there, that's diameter 80. The pressure plate is 72. This year it's 60 in total, so that's going to be our widest part, 80. So I need at least, so I've got 160 here, that's going to end round about this point here, and then I have to have at least another 80. So you can space yourself accordingly to be sure you line up. You're going to start off with the center line of your front view, the center line of your right view, and then I've just drawn here a construction line to literally be this center line, the one that goes through the center of that shaft. Okay, that is my reference line that I'm going to work from. All right, so I'm going to start by drawing my shaft and my fork and using the measurements that's given. We're going to see if I can do this in 30 minutes. And of course, you've got the ability to pause and rewind. Those in class, you'll have to just keep up. Hey, let's all make teken. Gaan ons kyk of ons kan klaarmaak. All right, let's see how far we get. So, if we start with the shaft using that information that's given to us, we might not be as neat as we can be, but let's see. The lines are in the end that gives you the marks, and neatness is still important though, so let's try that. So construction line, that's the shaft here, just a diameter. I start off on the wrong footing here. Who of you are checking me? If I make a mistake, you must shout out. Who's that? Is that the vet? Okay, that's 20, sorry for that, so I had a wrong start already. Construction line, draw that all the way through. Okay, and then alright, let's get first of all this width here, because I want to get the placement. I have to have a washer and then this shoulder of our bolt. So there's a washer between that. If you look at the 3D, there's a washer in between. So I just want to get that measurement. That's 66, which means 33 either side. Okay, and then there's a 14. That width of that fork is 14. Okay, and then we have the washer. That's 2 millimeters on the outside on this side and 2 millimeters on this side. Can I zoom in a bit for you? Let's just focus on this view here for a moment. Okay, all right, so that's just going to be the washer here. I'm just going to draw those lines shorter than the others. Okay, that one's going to be a long one. That's the fork here. That's the inside of the fork as well. Just construction lines. That's the washer, so they are two shorter lines. Okay, then there's a shoulder on this shaft. It's 13 plus 2. So 15 in total. 2 millimeters here. Alright, and that. Alright, it's a M20 bolt. What is this distance going to be? Wat gaan daai grootte wees? It's not specified here. What's this distance? If it's a M20, we're going to take that 20 times it by 1.5. Nee, 1.5. So that is 30. So that again is 15 on either side here. Okay, there's a shaft, the bolt head, and then they've got a 45 here on the end. Okay, our washer. Do I section the shaft? Gaan ek 'n bout sny? I mean a bolt, sorry. Okay. Alright, that washer, the outer diameter is 40. So that's a 20 on either side, 20 this side. And I can do both of them. Right, then that shaft runs through here and this side, and then we're going to have our bolt. They tell you that as 15. Let's do that in construction. That's the end of it. Alright, and the total length of this is the 68 plus the 19. Alright, so we've got the 68 here. There's the 68 and then there's 19. So it sticks out a little bit on this side. The screw thread is specified as M20 times 2. That means that the screw thread is 2 millimeters. Okay, die M20 maal 2 is eintlik daai skroefdraad wat 2 mm is. Dit het julle geweet. 45 there, flip it. 45 front. Alright, we'll draw this in now. Then the bottom of this fork is at from this center radius 30. So I'm just going to add a 30 here, 10, 20, 30. That's the bottom of it. Okay, there's a construction line. And then there's a curve here. Did they specify this radius anywhere? Gee hulle iewers daar 'n radius. Is there anywhere that they specify a radius for us? Waar staan dit? Well, all unspecified radius could work. Okay, so for that we're going to have a construction line this side, construction line that side. You're going to use your diameter 6 because that's a radius 6. Same on this side. Jy kan jou passer ook gebruik, dan moet jy eers 'n middelpunt bepaal natuurlik. Alright. That's going to go this way. Alright, how wide? Up to this point. Alright, and then okay, we'll draw in the bush and everything else that's here now. Okay. So sorry, jy hoef nie eintlik al hierdie lyne nou donker te teken, jy kan baie verder teken in konstruksie voordat jy lyne teken. Right, then we have the bush on either side here. That bush is diameter 30. So just double check that. 15 and 15. So there's the bush. Alright, and then we've got our pulley, V pulley. So you're going to use that diameter, that's the 80. And we're going to use the 60 and the 48 to get all of this drawn here. Now that's our next step. So we have the 40 here, which one's on either side. Just going to get that drawn, and then we've got a 60, and then we have a 48 as well, which is 24. Okay, so just do construction lines here. Okay, then that width. Okay, there's a little shoulder there of 3 millimeters on either side. Okay, then we have a 5. Ook aan die kant het ons 5. En dan het ons 'n 6. Okay, so those lines I just draw in construction. Okay, there's a shoulder. You can just look at the given measurements there. So our skouertjie. Right, then this is the top of it. Then you have the bottom of it. And then from this point to that point there's an angle. Okay, let's go up here. We'll finish this part now. The height for this, if I look at the V, from here to here is 46, and we've got again our radius 3, so 46 from that center, 10, 20, 30, 46. Okay, here we have those 3, radius 3 corners. This stencil works so well with these corners. Okay, that goes across. Can you see how we're fitting every part together here? Okay. Then that V goes up here and it goes to this shoulder. So it's another 14 up again and then 45. So I'm going to try and see if I can get all of those measurements drawn quickly. So we're saving some time. So the first is 14. Right, then we have a 45. 10, 20, 30, 45. As you draw, you are probably going to find your own rhythm here. Jy gaan op 'n manier jou eie manier van teken kry waarmee jy gemaklik gaan wees en ek wil dit aanmoedig, okay? Kry vir jou 'n werkswyse wat vir jou effektief is. Find a way that this is comfortable for you, that you know which triangle do I take. Some learners will draw this entire drawing in construction and then afterwards go and, you know, populate that which they know is the full drawing. Others might draw a component, one component at a time. However you feel comfortable, that's important for you to find your own way of doing it. And the only way you're going to get that done is by drawing. There's no way you're going to have confidence if you don't draw. So take the time and draw, people. Okay, we're at the top here. I'm going to, next up is drawing that. So maybe just check if you want to see how we've progressed. There's still details I know that we need to fill in. Just drawing the outlines. We're now going to draw this top part here using the measurements that's given. We already have this line here. I actually have, yeah, we'll have to start. Let's see. Okay, this inner diameter here, let's just look at that. That diameter is right diameter 40 from this one to that one. Okay. Right, look at this quickly. That diameter there is also 40. Okay. So this component here fits over this. Are you with me? All right. Then we are going to have a thrust bearing. There that's diameter 10. This one here. All right. On top of this. So that bearing is going to sit here. If you look at its radius, it is 72. And this is 80. So that thrust bearing is going to sit here. Okay, that's going to be the thrust bearing. It's going to sit there. At this point, and then on top of that, we're going to have a fastening disc. Our fastening disc has got 72. Yeah, there's a thrust bearing and there's the fastening disc on top of that. Okay. Right, there's a 13 screw thread. That screw thread is for this fastening disc there. That the M30 times 3. That's that internal screw thread, and that fits onto that. You see that 13 there, and that 10. Okay, does that make sense to you? So this fastening disc is sitting right in line with that point there. Okay, all right. That's the placement for it. So your thrust bearing, its inner diameter is 40. That fits over this 40. Okay. All right. So let's start. That bearing has got 15, diameter 15. 10. Okay, construction line going this way, construction line going that way. That's got a diameter of 72, 36, 10, 20, 30, 6. Okay, just drawing the outside, that's the thrust bearing here. Okay, placement of that. Then on top here we have our 13, which I think we've already measured. There's a 13, and that's got a diameter of 30. So we're just going to draw that in construction. 15, 15, and each screw thread is 3 millimeters. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. So that screw thread is already there. Okay, what goes onto that screw thread is this fastening disc, and we see that by using that 30 there, M30 by 3. So we'll draw that quickly. That's 10 millimeters. Construction line. Its outer diameter is 72, which is 36 to either side. Okay, so it's in line with this one. Okay, let's draw that thrust bearing first here. It's got the two blind holes, that's diameter 10, and it is on this circular center that's diameter 50. So 25 with a diameter 10. Okay, the depth of that hole is 6 millimeters. Sorry. Okay, that angle is 60 degrees. 30 degrees, sorry. Center line. Okay, this screw thread, it's alright, that is screwed into, so if I draw that, .45 there. Okay, then our bearing at the bottom here, they want us to draw a detailed view in this front view, so we're going to have to draw it exactly how you see it here, exactly like that is. So we've got the 3 5s, we've got that 12 there. Alright, let's go for that. 1, 2, 3. Right, the inside there, it's diameter 12. So this is 16. That's a 16, and then we have a 12, which is 2 millimeters on either side. Okay, we'll do the hatching now. At each one of these ends, there's like a little bit of a shaft. Yes. Thank you. Alright, when we do the hatching, we'll remember to color that part in. Okay, the top of our base plate runs in line here on the top. And so that base plate, if we look at the size, we've got a 19, 21, 12. And there's a 28 there. Now let's use that measurements. Do it on the side here. There's our 10, 20. There's our 28. It's in line with this line. That one we've already got. And then we have, let's do on this side, we'll do the others. So we have a 19, 10, 19. Then we have a 21. And we have a 12. Okay, so we'll have construction lines going over, and on top. Then our diameters, the outer diameter is the 160, so that's the 80, that's the full width. Okay, I'm just going to draw that in to help me not to be too confused. That goes there, that goes there. Okay, then the next step is it on the 21. I'll have to just double check my measurements here. It's in line with that hidden detail. So that one is the 104, which is 52. That's on this level here. 52, 104. That's our next level. And then the last one is this one here, which is diameter 60, which is 30. Okay, and then we have a lot of these diameter or radius 6 ends. So there's our first one. Can draw that in. Next one. Next one. We also have on here in here. Yes, yeah. Same on this side. If it's a round like this, it's called a round. If it's on the inside, it's called a fillet. Duidelik en uiteindelik. Okay, let's see if we can do our hatching quickly. Okay, this inner diameter here is at 40. Right, on the side there is a pit PCD that is 112. So just get the center there, that's going to be at 66. And each hole is diameter 12. Okay, I'm going to rush this. I want to see if we can. So there's a hole going through there with the center line. Another hole. Another hole. Okay, let's see if we can hatch this. I'll zoom out for you to just see the big picture. I know I haven't done everything on this. We still need to draw our bolt here. But if I would hatch it, the biggest parts here, we will draw with a hatching that is nice and wide. So let's do it. Evenly spaced. I'm going to catch this side as well. Okay, and the rule remains, I do not section or hatch any fasteners or ribs or webs or shafts. Okay. Right, there's a couple of center lines that's still required here. Okay, so big spacing for the bigger components. Right, then our pulley here at the bottom, we can do that one quickly. Change of direction. Okay, this wheel, because it's the same material, right? Same material, it's going to be in the same direction. Nee. Selfde rigting en ek gaan mos nou rondom. Dis nie 'n ander komponent, die same direction all the way around. Okay, our bush, I'll do that one quickly. That can be nice and close because it's a small component. Again, both of these bushes are the same direction because it's one casting or one component and it doesn't change in Okay, do I hatch a washer? No. On this one, we still need our cartling. Sorry, you can just do that. I'm not going to finish this completely, but diamond knurling, sorry. Knurling. Okay, that's missing on that one. Center line here, missing. Okay, that needs to be finished. Then we go up to our main nice and big component also. So let's do that hatching nice and wide. Please wait before you guys pack up. Alright. All the way through. Who of you are with me, like on almost where I am? Let me just see. Wie's naby en wie het bygebly? Yeah. Close. Okay, there's still a right to that needs to be drawn here without this base plate. So jy gaan moet mooi dink daar's nie 'n basisplaat wat bygeteken moet word nie. En dat jy natuurlik al die afmetings, jy moet jou verborgde besonderhede insit. Hierso is ons amper klaar nou. Right, this hatching here is important. It goes to the inside because it's already screwed in. Nee, onthou, daar's 'n skroefdraad, maar omdat dit twee komponente is wat aan mekaar geskroef is, daai skroefdraad gaan tot binne in die skroefdraad. Okay, I think I said that in one of our first lessons, that when the screw thread, when you've got something screwed in, that screw thread is also hatched. If it was just an empty void, then it's of course not hatched. Then our bearing here, same direction at the bottom. It's different components but the same materials. So we're going to flip our hatching for this one. flip there. Nice and tight. Okay, the one last thing that you have to remember is, because this component is so small, that needs to be colored in, right? And then double check, you have to have a center line going all the way down here. So iets wat ek gemis het. Okay, of course you're going to do all the rest of it, which entails finishing this, making sure you've got the dimensions and all the other components. But that's in general how you would start this drawing, and then from here you'll project the right view. It's just a famous right view. That cutting plane, maybe I'll just do the cutting plane for you. That cutting plane goes through here, all the way down, and it is on this side. Okay, AA, same at the bottom. Radio, have a lovely day. Cheers, guys.